Hello, Tigers. Welcome back for another episode this week. We're always happy to be here with you and give you the DePauw news. I'm Drew Cosgray.
And I'm Laney Collier.
And you are watching The Source.
It is February, which means it is Black History Month, and here on campus, we have had a couple of our own D3 TV members go out and speak with some Black voices out on campus.
Yes, and I can't wait to hear their stories today, and we're about to give those stories to you. So I'd like to shoot it over to the interview studio with Alexander Wallace and Student Body President Demetrius Morrow.
Howdy, Tigers. I am your boy, Alexander Wallace, and I'm here with
Demetrius Morrow.
And we're going to talk about Black History Month and also Demetrius being the Student Body President. So, Demetrius, how's your day going right now?
My day's going good. Happy to see a lot of my fellow Tigers and just happy to be here on DePauw's campus.
So now, today we are in February, I think February 16th. Yep. We are in the middle of Black History Month. So, in a sense, what does Black History Month mean to you?
Black History Month for me means to really just give praise to our ancestors and to continue to create history that they've created. I'm Black history.
Fair.
Being another president, especially being a younger president, I know this is history in the books at DePauw, you know what I mean? And being the second consecutive Black male president, Black history is continuously being made, and Black history is just something that we should continue to celebrate because we have came from so far.
And that's a great thing to talk about, is that celebrating Black history and being able to understand kind of like the trials and tribulations that our ancestors have had throughout a certain number of years, and it's still going on right now. When it comes to Black history, do you think that as a student body president, you should do more when it comes to Black history, as in like not promoting it because I feel like people know, but just like, diving into our ancestry, diving into our history and understanding why you should notice Black history as a prime example of what I feel like history should be like.
Definitely, not just because I'm the student body president, I'm actually the co-chair of the Brotherhood organization, where we promote the inclusion of POC males on campus, especially Black males. So definitely in that role, I've learned that there has been a great change in diversity when it comes to being on DePauw's campus. If you look back in the earlier years, back when like Allen Hill was here, there were only around like 10, 12 African-American students on this campus. Now we fast forward to now and it's over 50 or so, you know what I mean? Probably even more. And you just can see how, the impact that we've been having on this campus, and as we continue on into the future, DePauw is probably gonna be one of the most diverse schools in Indiana, hopefully.
And that is a good thing to talk about because, diversity is essentially what the world needs. Because for me, I'm a posse scholar, and when we think about posse, you're thinking about coming to a kind of a small college campus, not knowing anything, you being from an inner city, kind of understanding how life goes. So coming to a small campus and predominantly white institution, you tend to, have your pre-thoughts, like your judgments when it comes to that. And so hearing you say this, I feel like the diversity and inclusion is going to be a big aspect in DePauw's like future, and it's going to be a big part of history, is what you said. And dive into more about Brotherhood. What is it? What is it in a sense?
So the Brotherhood is an organization. Our main goal is to make sure that the POC males are included, you know what I mean, in everything, because, it tends to get lonely, we don't have a lot of people that look like you or people that you can resonate with. And to do that and promote community with excellence. We do this with excellence. We try to make sure that whenever we've seen each other, we hold each other to a high standard. Mondays, every first and third Monday, you'll see us walking around with our blazers on, our suits with our logos on it. And we'll be at lunch.
Looking good, because like that, I feel like when it comes, of course, when you talk about Black history, Black men and women have just been, ostracized, have been, kind of degraded, not even almost, it's been degrading. And so when it comes to talking about Black future, I can see Brotherhood being a key aspect, because I do see you guys, and also the meetings. I remember last semester, you were able to sit down with Lori White's husband. Isn't he like I want to say the first like doctor of Black physics? It was something like that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a nice accomplishment that we have gained. The Brotherhood is a fairly new organization, and I also do want to give praise to AAAS, the Association for African American Students. They are doing such a great job over there, and I feel like the Brotherhood wouldn't be the Brotherhood without them. So definitely giving props to them and all the other student organizations that focus on the inclusion of Black POC students. So,
that's something to hear, because when coming to DePauw, you hear about all DePauw is ranked #1 nicest looking campuses, but when you really kind of get here and sit down, you have to realize it's this place for you. And being a person of color, being walking in, because I am a freshman, walking in first semester, having the Brotherhood and having you guys talk to me through, understanding that not everyone is going to understand how you feel at some point, because not everyone is like you. And especially if you are in a PWI, not everyone is going to understand how you feel because you had different experiences in life. And I just want to say I truly appreciate how the Brotherhood, as a sense, is just really working hard to include black men along with any people of color, because I truly understand that AAAS is not just African American Association of Students. It's inclusion for all. We don't care what you look like. We want to just be able to talk to you and see you forefront to forefront. If we have an argument, let's compromise. And I think that's essentially why Brotherhood and why AAAS was started, to understand that even though we are the center of diversity, we need to be able to spread that to where no matter what you look like, you can help diversity and inclusion throughout the entirety of
campus. And that's Black history right there.
That's literally how it is. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Alex, for taking the time to talk with our student body president, Demetrius Morrow, on Black History Month. I know for a fact, when I saw Demetrius get the role for student body president, I was so excited because he embodies everything what a DePauw student should strive for, and I just can't thank him enough for coming on to this show and talking with us today.
Absolutely. Now we're going to send it over to Niesha Lewis. She talked with some of our AAAS African American students to hear their voices and to amplify them here on The Source.
So with Black History Month coming to a close, The Source would like to highlight the organization that was behind a substantial amount of Black History Month events, the Association of African American Students. Here with me today, I have our president, Kayla Thompson, and the alumni chair and treasurer, Zondi Kabunga. Hi,
Hello.
ladies. How are you doing today?
Good.
All right, so talk to me about what AAAS is. What is the mission of AAAS?
Yeah, so the Association of African American Students is the leading Black organization on this campus. We've been here for 54 years, and I want to say we specialize, but a lot of our work focuses on student advocacy and cultivating a space for Black students. So that's a lot of what we do. Our mission statement, I don't remember it by heart, but I know that a lot of our work is to educate, create resources, and provide opportunity for Black students to thrive. So that's kind of a gist of our mission statement.
So you guys have been behind, like I said, a substantial amount of the Black History Month events the entire month long. I know I've been keeping up with them and trying to show out to that. So talk to me about the theme of this Black History Month. Why deeply rooted? What's the significance of that?
So Joseph Harris, who works for the CDI, he came to us with a theme. Typically at AAAS, we just kind of put events together that we think would be meaningful for the community. The past 2 years has kind of been hard with COVID, and so we're always thoughtful about the kind of events we want to put together. Where our advisor came in was kind of solidifying the thoughtfulness of those events and making sure they're connected and not seen as isolated incidences. So deeply rooted is just this idea of we all have a connection to DePauw. There's a history of Blackness at DePauw. How can we highlight that? And so a lot of our events was rooted in that, especially with our AAAS birthday celebration, which was 2 weeks ago, right? Having those roots within DePauw and celebrating those who came before us and those who will come after us. So
That is so powerful. Like, I really, really love that theme.
Yeah.
Like, I remember seeing it and I was just like, it just seems so right.
Yeah.
So what would you say to non-Black members of the DePauw community who would love to support this organization?
I would say if you really wanted to support AAAS, just come to the events that we promote. Like we had our Two Black performance, Two Black is a poet. We also had Erica Huggins come, who's a Black Panther, and she had like a webinar and spoke. So just honestly getting involved in like events that we do throw, and things like that.
Yeah, Zani hit it right on the head, because a lot of what we do is educating. There's obviously some events that are closed for Black students, which is perfectly fine, right? We want to create a space for Black students, but those educational events, you know, when people say educate me, or I'm trying hard to get educated, and when you don't show up to events, it's like, how hard are you really working to get educated about these things? Because again, like going back to Deeply Rooted, a lot of the events that we have touch on things that are relevant to DePauw, racism, classism, colorism, all those things. And so when people aren't stepping in and like showing an interest in getting educated, it makes me question like, how invested are you in Blackness at DePauw? And another way people could support is people have money, they could donate. Because
do we have that in the bio of AAAS?
To donate?
Yeah.
Not yet, but there are people who have emailed us and like, how can I donate? And we set them up with an advisor.
Okay.
Because a lot of that really does help us put on events for our community instead of relying on, and there's nothing wrong with EBE, but sometimes, you know, like when I think about formal, we always use the UB and stuff, and there are other orgs that are going on yachts. You know, that's not equity to me. So if people are really invested in equity, they should allocate the funds so we can have equitable experiences.
Right. Well, Kayla, I know that you're a senior and you're a senior president. How do you want members of our DePauw community to remember your legacy as president of the Association of African American Students?
My legacy? I don't know, because when I came into AAAS, it wasn't more of like a, I'm trying to change the community. I just kind of found myself as like a, not nug, but like, I don't know, just, I don't know.
Like, how do you say, a cog in the machine?
Yeah, I just found myself as that. And so the way that I lead, and maybe Zani could speak to it, is like, I try to make sure that everyone has a voice and that they are creating AAAS what they would like it to be.
Right.
You know, creating a space for Black students, holding events, things of that nature. So for me, it's not necessarily about my legacy, but the legacy of AAAS. Because when I came in freshman year, I was able to see the activism. I was able to see like all the struggles and hear all the stories from the alumni and what they endured and stuff. And the way that I stepped into AAAS was like, okay, like I'm just carrying the work. I'm carrying the torch, which I will pass down to everyone else. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. Like, it's not a legacy of me necessarily, but I would like people to remember the legacy of AAAS. And the way that I try to show that is through the programming and through the work and through the way that I collab with my exec.
That definitely answers
I
that
was about to
question.
say, I think Kayla's definitely going to leave a legacy for AAAS.
Yeah.
I've never really, you know, like last year, I obviously wasn't on exec for AAAS, but just seeing like how passionate she has been as a president. Every time like we have an exec meeting and there's like new ideas for programming, or like I have like an idea for the like newsletter, she's always excited, always encouraging, always open to like, you know, if you have questions, if you need help with anything. And also she started the Academy for Black Excellence. We had it this past Saturday, and it was really lovely. And just like the passion that she has for AAAS, you can definitely tell that she loves like her community, and it's very inspiring. It makes me want to be like a leader just like her. And you know.
So along those lines, what do you see for the future of AAAS as
Yes.
you're a sophomore just getting started in the organization?
I definitely just want AAAS to grow. You know, we have honestly implemented so many new things, like the newsletter for like alumni and AAAS.
Created by you.
Right, yes.
We have the Academy for Black Excellence, which is really
link
nice.
tree that she made.
Yeah, we have the link tree. Honestly, having our social media being like more engageful with you know, people who follow us and stuff. So I'm just really excited just to kind of continue my, you know, my role in AAAS. I do plan on, you know, still serving on exec even when Kayla leaves and stuff. So I'm just really excited to see like us grow into, you know, bigger and better.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to see where the future of AAAS goes, and I just want to thank you both for sitting down with me and having this talk.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Of course. Sending it back to Laney in the studio.
Thank you so much, Niesha, for those wonderful interviews. At D3TV, we want to continue to amplify Black voices.
Yes, and it was such a pleasure hearing all those stories on campus about how we are continuing to push for Black excellence on campus. And the one thing, a statement from D3TV that we would just like to give to you all is that yes, we take the month of February to honor Black history, but truly it is every month of the year that Black lives matter. And that is something at D3TV we really want to continue to push forward. So.
Absolutely. That about wraps it up for us this week. Please follow us on all of our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and subscribe right here on YouTube so you never miss another episode.
I'm Drew Cosgray.
I'm Laney Collier.
And you are watching The Source.